What's up, y'all? Jake here, and the internet is suddenly abuzz over Michelle Obama's new podcast. It's because Big Mike, Michelle, created this new, terrible, cringeworthy podcast where her and her brother talk about irrelevant crap that nobody cares about. It's extremely unwatchable. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But the star of the show, what's got people hooked and coming back for more, is the comment section. Yes, apparently the comment section of this new podcast is, let's just say, pretty wild. And people are calling out Michelle as being Big Mike, if you will, in many different ways, using some colorful language. And Big Mike, Michelle is yet to disable the comments. So before we get to the awesomely funny comments, let's go ahead and check out some of this podcast. Now, this is Michelle Obama's actual YouTube channel here. She has 21.2 thousand subscribers. And the first episode of the podcast was a day ago. So let's go ahead and check out episode number 1 of the Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson Start a Podcast show.
A lot of people have questions they want to know, especially when they see somebody of note with a platform who, by every measure looks successful. The first question is how? I think this podcast, first and foremost, gives us an opportunity to hear from folks. We're going to be taking questions from listeners who are going through some things and just need a little advice. They want to hear from people in conversations, and folks are looking for a place where they can just they can hear stories.
Okay, so first 30 seconds into the podcast, they don't look at the camera. They don't address the audience at all. I gotta say, that's a very boring and bland start to the podcast. You're not exactly going to hook audiences when you're looking off to the side and talking about nothing right out of the gate. When you're starting a new podcast, you got to come out, swinging. You got to connect with the audience, the viewer at home. So far, none of that going on. Let's see if this gets any better. I'm not going to watch the whole 53 minutes. I think I would rather die than sit here and watch 53 minutes of this, but I will dedicate maybe 4 or 5 minutes.
What I realize is, like, by sharing some of these stories, it always taps into something from somebody else. People, they want to hear some honest kind of conversation about how people are working it through. And we don't have all the answers, this show isn't about us being experts at anything other than the lives that we've lived.
We know that you're not an expert on anything except being the first lady. That's the only thing you could be qualified as talking about, is what it was like to be the first lady. What it was like to be the first lady is about the only thing I can think of that you would be considered an expert in. Other than that, I can't think of a single thing where somebody's like, hey, I want the opinion of Big Mike, Michelle Obama. I want his expert opinion.
But what we do have are a lot of opinions.
How many people are really interested in the opinions of Big Mike, Michelle? We'll find out.
Hence the name.
In my opinion, IMO.
You like how they said that together? What a way to start the show. higher ground with Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson. I see a bright future for this podcast. Joe Rogan, watch out. There's a new person on the scene who's going to be taking over the podcast scene by storm. Big Mike. Excuse me, Michelle.
This episode is brought to you by Rivian and Pine Sol.
Well, I'm Craig Robinson, and you all know my sister, Michelle Obama, and we're doing this podcast together, and it's really exciting to be working with you on this project.
You know, some people react like, you're doing a podcast with your brother?
Why would you do that?
I know, really.
Who gives a flying fart what Michelle Obama has to say? That's what I'm thinking. I don't care. So who really does? If anything, it's almost like this podcast was made to be a humiliation ritual of sorts. It's almost like, hey, Big Mike, excuse me, Michelle, we're going to need you to go humiliate yourself on purpose. Yep. Humiliation ritual time, Mikey. Go on. Go out there with your brother and do the most unwatchable, cringy, waste of time podcast that there ever was. And then the internet will suddenly become a buzz if we leave the comment section open and we let people call you Big Mike in the comment section. It will become a global phenomenon. All we got to do is have you be terrible, cringy. And then in the comments section, people are going to call you Big Mike. They're going to say Joan Rivers was right. And we're going to have a winner on our hands. People are going to return week after week to roast Big Mike, excuse me, Michelle, in the comments every week.
But our dynamic is so, in my view, unique. I think there are plenty of siblings who have great relationships, but, you know, I think when we think back to where that came from, I think about just the physical closeness that we had. I mean, we weren't wealthy.
Right.
And Dad was working class. We lived in the same apartment our whole lives and had to grow into that. And as a result, you and me, we were physically close growing up.
Remember when we used to share a bedroom?
Remember when they used to share a bedroom? You know, they were so poor, they had to share a bedroom.
Of course, that was our life growing up. We shared the same room until you went to high school, right?
Up until high school, these two shared a room. The struggle is real. Started from the bottom, now they here. You guys, that just goes to show you, if you work hard, you can achieve your dreams. You know, the American dream is still achievable. These two used to live in the same room together until high school. And now here they are doing this most amazing podcast, entertaining us all, telling us this most wonderful story, which is extremely entertaining.
That's right.
Well, let's first just recall how small the apartment we lived in. You know, it seemed like it was huge, but it was essentially 2 bedrooms, right?
No, it was 1 bedroom.
Well,
a 1-bedroom apartment. Where did your parents live? Did they just like sleep out on the floor in the living room and give you kids the 1 bedroom? Interesting.
That little offshoot bedroom that Mom and Dad stayed in.
Oh, yeah, you had that little offshoot bedroom. I guess he forgot about that. He didn't remember how many bedrooms there were.
You would consider that a bedroom.
But that was the only bedroom. The room we were in was actually the living room.
Oh, no. Now the story changed. Now they were in the living room. Now they shared the living room and their parents were in the bedroom. Yeah, the story just conveniently changed all of a sudden. You know what? I really don't care about this podcast. Let's go ahead and get to the main event. You guys want to know the star of the show, the reason people are showing up? It's the comments. The comments have been left on. Look at this, 3,951 comments. Video score 48%, comment score 95%. So right away, I'm going to tell you, if you go here to read the comments, a lot of the comments are about how good the comments are. So you're going to see people commenting how much they love the comments. But if you keep sifting through, you're going to find some comedy gold. Such as, this should be called Drop the Mic with Michelle Obama. If only Joan Rivers could be here to read all the comments. Someone here has got some serious balls. By that, I mean whoever hasn't disabled the comments yet. Click on video, immediately hit pause, go to comments section, popcorn, laughing emoji. Remember when this guy drowned his chef in a lover's quarrel? Leaving the comments on is probably the only authentic thing about you, sir. It's important to have spaces like this where two men can speak their minds freely. Thank you for providing this for us. I worked my balls off to get here. This is really cringe. The comments are priceless, though. So check it out. Right now, the comment section is open for you to show up and start leaving comments such as these. So if you want to leave a comment, like Joan Rivers was right. Oh, look who said this.
Primetime Act 99. Primetime on the grind Act 99. Joan Rivers was right. She was tight. She was polite. Joan Rivers. Outside grind.
So here's primetime outside 999. Joan Rivers was right. It's got a 1,000 thumbs up. So they haven't turned off the comments. And so right now, up to the minute, if I was to go to the newest comments, you'll see up to the minute, there's people flooding this comment section. Check it out. Sort by newest first. 29 seconds ago. Which one is Michelle? My God, this is awful. They must be the two dumbest men alive. Which room? If that was the kitchen, where was the bathroom? Two bros kicking it. How sweet. Such a good brother duo. So check it out. These are all within the first or within the last 3 minutes. So right now, it seems that other YouTubers are talking about this, and it's basically making its rounds on the internet right now as we speak. So basically, you can just keep refreshing the screen, and you're going to see new comments coming in like every minute talking about Big Mike. Excuse me, Michelle. So if you guys want to go show your support and leave a comment, now is the time. I don't know how long these comment sections are going to be open. Earlier today, there was only like a couple thousand thumbs up. So I think they bought a bunch of thumbs up. Ain't no way there's 40,000 thumbs up on a video with only 75,000 views. Like, no way. No. So they definitely bought thumbs up, because check it out. The thumbs down was like in the tens of thousands if you go look it up. And then the thumbs up, there was only like 2,000 thumbs up. So within the last hour or so, so they must have bought all these thumbs up. So yeah, I'm not going to subject you to any more of this terrible, cringeworthy podcast. If you want to go watch any more of this podcast, it's over on the official Michelle Obama YouTube channel. So yeah, there you go. Michelle Obama and her brother started a new podcast. You can go over there and roast them two bros right now if you want to. Who knows? Maybe by tomorrow the comments will be shut off. Or they might be leaving those comments open specifically so that they can get heat. This might be some sort of a humiliation ritual that they're making Big Mike, excuse me, Michelle, go through. I can't imagine anybody thinking that this is going to be a hit show. Anyway, that's all I got for you on this. I just wanted to show you guys this that this terrible podcast does exist, and you have the ability right now to go roast Big Mike, Michelle. All right, that's it. Bye.